Hyra George with Straight Up with the Twist.
David George watching barryz with Straight Up with a Twist.
Hi, it's barryz from the barryz Show, celebrating the opening night of Straight Up with a Twist, right? With Paul Stroili.
Paul Stroili, Straight Up with a Twist at the Players Theater, 115 McDougal Street.
We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere, and go see Straight Up with a Twist at the Players Theater.
You know, the world can be a cruel place when you're a straight guy with good taste and a great eye for color.
I'm not an unreasonable man to live with, but if she's going to put the pillowcases on the bed with the openings facing in, what are we, animals? Huh? A sensitive man in private is enticing. Sensitive man in public is embarrassing. We are the men who say, don't call my house during Monday Night Football, because that's when I vacuum.
And you know, my family wasn't exactly helpful.
3 kids, one of each. I had hoped that both of my sons would be boys. Because he is half Italian and he is half German, so every one of his ancestors lost World War II.
Don't miss the award-winning hit Straight Up with a Twist at the Players Theater, 115 McDougal Street in the heart of Greenwich Village. Tickets available through Telecharge. Hi, it's barryz from the barryz Show, celebrating opening night of Paul Stroili's new play called Straight Up with a Twist at Monty's Restaurant.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for coming, Barry. I hope you had a good time.
This show is 100 proof.
Oh, the Stroili joke. Okay, I get it. Now, do you think you fall into this category of male?
Male/female.
No.
Depending upon the night.
No, I had a great time. The audience was great, and it's really...
Gay time or a great time?
Great time, great time. You got to see the show to figure out the other part of it.
That's incredible. Tell me the incarnation of this.
Well, from the very beginning of the show, my wife said it from the word go. She's like, you're like this gay guy I can have sex with, and that's what it was. So this whole type of male that doesn't really have a category. We call them Renaissance geeks, but they're just those straight guys who aren't as interested in the football game as they could be.
After she tried on the dress and realized it was in fact the one, she turned to me, tears in her eyes, and said, "Paul, I'm so lucky to have found you. You're like this gay friend I can have sex with." Not that funny? Nothing in my life prepared me for that moment. It was a moment of absolute clarity when I had to ask myself 2 questions. How did I get this way? And am I the only one out there who's like this?
Now tell me about the title of the show. It's called Straight Up with a Twist. What does that mean?
Straight Up with a Twist. Just, that type of male that, well, the subheading we used to use was the world's a cruel place when you're a straight guy with good taste and a great eye for color. And that sort of says it all.
Now, where did this start out?
It started out in California a few years back, and we've been all over the country, and this is our off-Broadway premiere, and we're absolutely delighted, not only with the production, but the response has been staggering.
Hello, and welcome to Basic Principles of Acting for the beginning non-actor who sings but doesn't move especially well, 1. My name is Ian Finch Hunter with 2 hyphens. As you could probably tell from my accent, I'm originally from Poughkeepsie. In addition to being a professor here at the university, I'm also a founding member of the Hostel Puppy Theatre Ensemble, where I did receive the Hudson Valley Huggy Award for my one-man production of Dreamgirls.
Now, Straight Up with a Twist, because you're not gay, you're straight, right? But you have a twist.
I'm a straight guy, but I'm not your typical straight guy, and that's the funny part of the show.
When people ask about my son, I don't know what to say. In my country, we say, quando questo ragazzo dal calcio al pallone non va diritto, which means, when this boy kicks the soccer ball, it does not go straight. Look, he just knows things a man shouldn't know, and I didn't tell him. He knows yellowtail is white. He knows white Zinfandel is pink. And ever since he was 14, he calls Roquefort that antique white cheese with flecks of aquamarine. He knows how to fold a fitted sheet. You have no friggin' clue what I'm talking about, do you? Don't feel bad if you don't know what a fitted sheet is. Paul's father was 56 before he stopped calling it the big square shower cap.
Tell me what it's about, please.
It's just I do all the different characters in my life. I do my mom, my father, my brother.
Are you aware of this?
What? Yes, and once they start talking to me again, I think things will go a lot better.
Who do you play again? Recap.
My brother, my psychiatrist, all these people who try to figure out this guy.
All right. I'm not 100% positive my brother Paul is a fake. There's a very slim chance he may just be a lesbian. See, because I know he likes chicks, he just likes the wrong ones, okay? Let me explain. When you live in Connecticut, like we did, and you grow up in the woods, like we did, every single thing you learn about chicks you pick up from the TV. And every TV show Paul and I saw growing up, we always disagreed about one thing. One thing. I always liked the hot chick, and he always liked that other chick with glasses. I first met Paul in the summer of 1982. I worked with his mother at Danbury Hospital. She worked in the clinic, and I was mental health. Practicing psychiatry in Connecticut, as I do. I'm no stranger to upper middle class angst, but Paul's case was a lot more textured, you know. Kind of like a dysfunctional Rubik's Cube that's round and on fire.
Tell me about Jenny Jones. Did you actually work for her?
Oh, yeah. I worked for Jenny for 2 years doing warm-up for her show. Yeah.
Were you there when one of her guests got shot dead?
I wasn't there for the... I would leave before the actual taping, so I wasn't there for that. But Jenny's a doll. We worked...
Did that ruin her career? When Scott Amador got shot dead?
Oh, no. She was never, found responsible for any of that. It was just the show went on. It was very unfortunate and very sad. But what are you going to do? Is the actions of one person? But she's just a gem. I really love her.
So you were the warm-up for that show?
Yeah, I did the warm-up. Got the audience going.
He took this job as the warm-up comedian for the studio audience for television's Jenny Jones show. You can't make shit like this up. Remember that show they used to do a lot of makeovers?
Yeah.
Make over my sloppy husband, make over my slutty daughter, and make over my pregnant, crack-addicted best friend from high school's illegitimate parasitic twin. You've seen the show.
Have you got any negative reaction from the gay community? Because you represent a lot of gay stereotypes in this.
Well, but I do address that. I talk about speaking in terms of stereotypes. The gay communities have embraced it fully, Chicago especially. That's why we ran so long. We were right in the gay section of Chicago, and they loved it.
Look, the fact of the matter is, in 1977, Fairfield County was looking for a fag hag, and I was more than willing to take the job. And there were 3 gay guys right in our neighborhood. That doesn't sound like much now, but let me tell you, in the late 70s, in suburban Connecticut, 3 out-of-the-closet gay men was officially enough for a parade. Oh, it was wonderful. White wine spritzes every Wednesday. We talked about everything. Relationships, communicating, coping with negative people. It was a wonderful time. It was a giving time. It really was. Bruno, vacuum later. I'm talking.
How do you get through a one-man show on your own? How do you not screw up the lines?
Well, you just do it a lot. I don't know what else to tell you.
The hottest part, or not being able to go to the bathroom for an hour and a half?
Oh, you learn all that. You learn. You gotta address all the biological needs before the production starts.
Is that the hardest part of doing a one-man show?
What?
What's the hardest part?
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Not paying for an hour is the hardest part.
Now, here are your producers, right?
Yes.
You want to introduce them?
David and Hira George, the two producers of Straight Up with a Twist.
Introduce yourselves.
David George.
I'm Hira George.
And you're married. You have the same last name.
That's true. We were brother and sister, but we thought we'd get married to be easier.
Tell us your responsibility in the show.
We were the producers of the show. We did all the production design for it. We've been working with about 5 years now, and just love Paul and the show, and think it's got a great future.
Take a look at the Bible. That's right, the Bible. A closer examination of biblical text will show you that Jesus was most definitely a Renaissance geek, because the loaves and fishes incident alone is a brilliant example of think on your feet party planning.
Why is this man's life so important to bring it to stage?
I think everybody can relate to some facet of either himself or one of the other personalities, his parents, his brother, his shrink. Everybody has something they can relate to. And yeah, go ahead.
And why did you bring it to stage?
I just think that everybody, I agree with Hira, that everybody relates to the show. Everybody, as an adolescent, feels that you're special, your life has problems, you got to get through it, and you're suffering, and everybody comes out of that. I mean, almost everybody comes out of that. And Paul came out of all of that self-torment and became who he is, a wonderful performer.
All right, first category. It looks like it's going to be sex. Okay. Orange ready, gentlemen. Here we go. Second date. White rose, red rose, or neither. That's number 2.
White rose.
Oh, sorry. That's number 1. Want to steal?
Red rose.
Oh, sorry. Neither. Any flowers before a third date make you look needy. One flower makes you look cheap.
Design scenery for such stars like Neil Sedaka, Barbra Streisand,
Neil Diamond.
Diamond. Oh, did I say Neil Sedaka? Oh, I'm sorry.
Neil Diamond, Bette Midler, Yanni.
How are these people to work with?
They're wonderful.
Not divas? Super bitches?
No, they're actually very nice people. I have a good time with them.